If you've noticed in the past 6 months, just about everyone and their favorite celebrity is moving out of California, and if you ask them why, you're probably going to get some form of a flat, "it sucks." But that isn't a satisfying enough answer, so before we get into how I'm earning money off of this crazy California exodus, let's look at the top reasons why people feel the need to leave in the first place. The number one reason is taxes. This is probably the most obvious on the list, but high taxes in itself isn't a big issue for most people as long as they feel they are getting the value for the taxes that they pay. This is the fundamental issue here. High costs without a high return. California's marginal state income tax is currently 13.3%, and legislators are aiming to increase that to 16.8%. Compare that to Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Texas, and Washington, where income taxes are 0%. Then add on top of this California's 7.25% sales tax and 50-cent per gallon fuel tax. It's easy to see how hard it is to get ahead in that state. Number two on the list is the homeless population and the state's handling of the situation. LA County's homeless population has increased by 50% since 2011. Despite many of the homeless in California suffering from mental illness or drug addiction, residents say nothing is being done to reduce the population, give them help, or relocate them to the appropriate facilities. Number three on the list is crime. This year, LA has seen a 14% increase in homicides. On top of this, many argue that police incentives are kind of malaligned to paint a more rosy picture of crime statistics. An investigation done by the Los Angeles Times showed that the LAPD misclassified nearly 1,200 violent crimes as minor offenses. Number four on the list, how the state handles business. CEO Magazine ran a survey asking which state has the worst regulatory climate to operate a business in, and California was number one. This is the only item on the list that I have personal experience with. I used to own a business in San Diego, and for the last 2 years, I have been battling against the state on a dispute that I have concrete proof on my side for. So there you go. Also, now that we're midway through this list, if you wouldn't mind helping me battle the YouTube algorithm by liking and subscribing, it would make a huge difference. Moving on, number five, which is kind of related to number four. Big companies are leaving the state or relocating their headquarters and taking thousands and thousands of jobs and earned income and taxes with them. A few of the larger companies that are relocating headquarters are Toyota, Nissan North America, Chevron, Nestle, and Carl's Jr., just to name a few. There are a lot more. Even Tesla, one of California's largest manufacturers, has threatened leaving the state, to which the governor says he's not worried. He's not worried about the billions of dollars in loss of tax revenue. Number six is the cost of living. This one is really crazy when I did the digging. The median household income in California is $71,000, and the average home price is $554,000. Now, the general rule for most lenders is your housing expenses shouldn't exceed 28% of what you earn. I think that's way too high still, but that's the general lending standards. Even at 28%, you're gonna kind of be house poor. All your money's gonna really be going to your house payment. Either way, if you earn $71,000 per year, that is $5,900 a month. 28% of this is $1,652. The mortgage, tax, and insurance on a home worth $554,000 is about $3,300, nearly double that median income. There's a major problem if the average income doesn't even come close to being able to afford the average home in an area. And that doesn't even include the taxes on the income, which makes the whole situation even worse. Finally, number seven, many believe COVID is being handled very poorly in the state. The last straw for many Californians is how strict the lockdown has been compared to the rest of the country. Now, this really seems to be the straw that broke the camel's back for those who already kind of had one foot out of the state. This seems to be because California has some amazing attractions, restaurants, things to do, all sorts of things, but that's all shut down and there's no end in sight. And people are looking at this situation where they pay extremely high cost of living and taxes without being able to go to these attractions. So there's very little upside, and then they just decide, that's it, I'm out. So now that we know why everyone is leaving, let's chat about how I am earning thousands of dollars every single week as a result of this exodus. As you likely already know from my other videos, I own a moving and storage business called Skinny Wimp Moving. the big reveal. Give us a call if you are moving anytime soon, 602-412-3325. One of our locations in this business is very established in California. And the owner of that location prefers not to do out-of-state moves. So I offer to do the jobs for that location. This has been going on for only less than a month, and I have already made more than $20,000, and we're getting quotes out of the door for these large jobs nearly every single day. I took a look at the most recent jobs we've quoted here, and here are some of the prices. $11,400, $4,500, and they booked. $14,900, and they're looking like they're going to schedule. $9,450, they booked. $5,400, they booked. And $7,900. And that's just the last few days. The reason this is working very well right now is in part because rental trucks. Take a look at how expensive they are right now. A rental truck from California to Arizona is $3,500. California to North Carolina, $5,100. And California to Idaho, which has been a very hot area to move to for whatever reason, probably because the opposite of the list that I went through earlier. This is such a hot spot that supposedly if you move from California to Idaho and drive around with the California license plate, you will get some eye rolls, the old Idaho eye roll, as we're going to call it. A truck rental from California to Idaho is $5,700. So you can pay $5,700 for a rental truck and you still have to pay for fuel. You have to drive that truck yourself. You have to get the furniture loaded and unloaded, the back-breaking labor. You have no insurance protection, and you still have to pay for or rent furniture pads and supplies. Or you can pay around $9,000 to $10,000 and hire a company like Skinny Wimp Moving to do absolutely everything for you. So as you can see, the sale is quite easy to make when we put it that way. You pay a tiny bit more. I mean, we're talking like $1,500 more, but you have zero work, zero hassle. You know it's going to be done professionally. Now, this is only possible for us because we have the manpower, the systems, the processes, equipment, and licenses in place to do it. But this is just one of those situations where just trying something out earned me a bunch of money and still is. A little while back, I noticed that the California location didn't seem to like to do these jobs, and I thought, hey, I wouldn't mind doing them. So I offered a deal to the owner, and boom, thousands of dollars a week in new sales. So I suppose the lesson here is that for every big event or change, there is some way you can help people out, make their lives a little easier, and earn some money while you're at it. Oh, and a side note here, if you're interested in the moving industry, I have a course that covers all of my insider secrets on how to start, own, and operate a profitable moving business. There's a link in my description below if you're interested. Until next time, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.